The prison cell was cold. The walls were made of smooth black metal. There were no windows. Only one bright light on the ceiling. And in the middle of the room stood a woman. Her name was Saren Vega. She didn't move. She didn't speak. Wait. Just stood, barefoot, her arms at her sides, her long dark hair falling over one eye. Her face showed no fear. No anger. Nothing. Outside the glass wall of her cell, a group of alien guards laughed loudly. They wore shiny blue armor and had sharp teeth. They were Seer, the same race that destroyed Earth 10 years ago. "Look at her," one guard said. Tapping the glass, still quiet, still boring. "Humans are weak," another added, slow and soft. "No claws, no armor, just skin and bone." The youngest guard, with glowing red eyes, looked unsure. He leaned closer to the others and whispered, "They say she was Ghost Ops. From Earth's last war squad." The other guards laughed hard. "Ghost Ops? Myth? No human ever touched our core ships? She's just a lucky survivor." But the young guard kept looking at her. "They called her the Silent Sweep. They say she killed a full squad without making a sound." Suddenly, the lights above flickered. Just once. Then again, the guard stopped laughing. The hallway buzzed. Then the lights went out completely. Total darkness. Red emergency lights clicked on a few seconds later. They blinked slowly. On, off, on, off. The guards looked around, their weapons ready. Inside the cell, Saren was gone. The glass wall was still there. No cracks. No door open. No hole in the floor. She wasn't standing anymore. "Where is she?" shouted one guard. The youngest one stepped back. She didn't move. I didn't see her move. A sound came from behind them. Click. They turned. One guard dropped to the floor. No scream. Just a soft thud. Then another. And another. No gunshots. No explosions. Just silence. Only the youngest guard remained. His hands shook. His armor beeped. With fear sensors, he turned in circles, trying to find her. "Please, show yourself," he cried. He heard a whisper near his ear. I did. He turned fast, but there was no one there. He screamed and fired his weapon. The blast hit a wall and bounced off. A small noise came from above. He looked up. Saren dropped from the ceiling like a shadow in one smooth move. She grabbed his helmet, twisted and pulled. Silence, the red lights kept blinking. A minute later, the ship's camera system turned back on. A security officer far away watched the screen. He zoomed into the prisoner cell. Serene was back inside, standing in the same position, barefoot, still calm, but outside her cell. 5 guards lay on the ground. The officer blinked. He rewound the footage. No movement. No attack. No escape. Saren never left the cell, at least not on camera. And yet, the guards were dead. He called the commander. "Sir, we have a problem." Meanwhile, Saren stood inside her cell, eyes closed. She listened. To the alarms far away, she heard the footsteps of soldiers running. She felt the vibrations of the engines slowing down. She was inside the heart of a Seer warship, one of their best. They thought she was weak. They were wrong. She had waited 10 years for this moment. The galaxy thought Earth was gone, that humans were broken. But they didn't know what Earth had really created. Not soldiers, not spies, but something else. Sweepers. Humans trained to kill in silence. No sound, no trace, no warning. Saren had become the best. Then she disappeared. Now she was back. Not for revenge, for the mission, and the mission had just begun. 10 years ago, the sky above Earth turned red. The Seer Dominion arrived with fire, steel, and no mercy. Their ships were as big as cities. Their weapons melted tanks. Their soldiers didn't talk, they only killed. They called it a cleansing. They believed humans were too wild, too emotional, too dangerous, so they came to erase them. But Earth didn't die quietly. The first Seer fleet landed in Asia. Within hours, 60% of it was gone. Not because of Earth's armies, but because of something else. The seer called them ghost units, small teams, no uniforms, no flags. They moved in shadows, hacked systems, planted traps, and vanished before anyone knew they were there. One of them was Saren Vega. She wasn't born a soldier. She was a coder, a student, a nobody. But when the war came, she changed. She joined a secret group under Earth's final command, the Silent Sweepers. Their job was simple. Don't fight to win. Fight so they bleed forever. They trained in the coldest places. They learned how to hide from machines, how to move without sound, how to kill without being seen. Saren became the best among them. She led missions into seer ships. She disabled fleets without firing a single bullet. Her name was never spoken, her face never seen. But her work left fear behind. Then, Earth fell. On day 304 of the war, the seer destroyed the moonbase. Earth's governments collapsed. One final message was sent to all remaining human units: scatter, survive, make them remember us.
Elegant.
Didn't cry. She didn't run. She disappeared. The seer believed she died with Earth. They were wrong, back in the present. The seer. High Council watched the footage again. The prisoner cell, the dead guards. Saren standing still. One of the alien leaders, Admiral Corix, slammed his fist on the table. How is she still alive? She didn't age, another officer said. 10 years and she looks the same. She's not just alive, the Admiral growled. She's hunting. The room went quiet. They all remembered the stories. It's the files marked red level. The missions that failed for no reason. Ships that vanished. Bases shut down. And always a whisper left behind. The sweep. Elsewhere, deep inside the ship, Saren opened a locked panel in the wall. Her fingers moved fast. She rewired a power system, shut down a sensor, and slipped back into the shadows. She had memorized the ship's layout. She knew where they stored their fuel, their weapons, and their communications. She wasn't here to escape. She was here to prepare. Saren reached into her small belt. Inside was a piece of old Earth tech, a cracked voice recorder. She clicked. It oned. Her own voice played back quietly. Words recorded years ago. This is Saren Vega. Silent sweep. Earth is not dead. Earth is listening. Earth will return. She smiled, then erased the message and sent a signal through the ship's wires. It traveled like a ghost. No alarms, no trace, just a whisper. Sent into space far away on a hidden station in deep space. ... An old man in a dark coat sat near a dead monitor. Suddenly the screen flickered. A message blinked. Sweep activated. His eyes widened. He stood up slowly and whispered, "She's alive." Back on the seer ship, ... Admiral Corix gave the order. Prepare her for transfer. Send her to Black Cell. The officers looked at him in shock. Black Cell. That place is off limits. She's not human anymore. She's a weapon. We're going to break her. He didn't know that the moment Saren stepped on that ship, the countdown had already started, because she wasn't waiting to escape. She was waiting for the right. It's a place to end them, and it was coming soon. The seer mining planet Raktor was a quiet place. Cold, empty, a few workers, few drones, and one landing pad. But on this day, something strange appeared in the sky. A seer warship. Big, dark, silent. It drifted slowly, with no lights and no signal. The control tower tried to contact it. Warship 7XN. Identify yourself. No answer. They tried again. And again, still silence. The ship floated like a dead whale, heavy and lifeless. The workers below stared at the sky. Even the drones paused. A rescue team was sent. 5 elite seer soldiers, fully armed. They docked for any danger. They docked with the warship and stepped inside. The air was cold. The halls were dark. Their boots echoed. Their leader, Captain Viharik, turned on his scanner. No life signs, he said. But something's wrong. The system is jammed. Where's the crew? One soldier asked. They moved slowly through the halls. No bodies, no blood. But the food trays in the cafeteria were still full. Chairs still warm, as if everyone had just vanished. They reached the prison block. The cell where Saren Vega had been kept was now open. The floor was clean. The lights worked, but on the wall, scratched with something sharp, were 4 words. Not slow, just patient. The youngest soldier stepped back. His hand shook slightly. What does that mean? Captain Viharok stared at the words for a long moment. Then, he turned. Keep moving. She's still here. They entered the control room. No power, no logs. Only a single video playing on loop. It showed the guards in the hallway. Just before they died, the screen glit, then showed static, then a symbol. Appeared a circle, and a line cutting through it. It's the old mark of Earth's silent sweepers. The captain's voice dropped. It can't be. Suddenly one of the soldiers screamed. They rushed back into the hallway. He was gone. Only his gun remained floating. In the air, slowly spinning, the others raised their weapons. Eyes up. Stay sharp. Another scream. Lights flickered. One more soldier gone. No signs of a fight. No blood. Only silence. Captain Viahawk spoke into his comm. Base, we need extraction now. Some things that come crackled. Then Saren's voice came. Through.soft.com. Hello, Captain. Do you remember Earth? He froze. How are you in our channel? I learned from the best, she whispered. I learned from watching you destroy my home. The lights went out completely. In the dark, boots ran. Guns fired. Screams echoed. But no one saw her. Only shadows. Only silence. An hour later, a second rescue team arrived. They entered the warship slowly. They found no bodies. Only empty weapons. Open lockers. And on the floor near the engine room, small item left behind, an old Earth music chip. The label read, Jazz Track 01. Soft steps in the dark they played it. It was quiet. Slow, peaceful. But behind the music, hidden in the sound waves was a message. You tried to erase us, but we remember everything. Far away, on a Seer moon base. Admiral Korek stood before a screen showing the report. He read the words silently. Crew, missing guards, missing rescue team, missing prisoner. Unknown message found. Human origin. His face turned cold. She's not a prisoner, he said. She's the war. Meanwhile, Serin walked through the quiet halls of another Seer. Outpost, she was already inside, already moving, already. Planning each step was light, each corner checked, each system marked. She didn't rush, she didn't fear, she was patient, it was exact. She was the last lesson the Seer would ever learn. Humans don't forget, and they don't stop. The Seer High Command met in silence. They sat in a dark war room, 6 alien leaders with sharp eyes, long fingers, and quiet fear in their hearts. A large screen showed her name in bold letters. Serene, Vega species, human origin, Earth status, destroyed previous rank, Ghost Unit silent sweep division status, terminated. Body not recovered. Admiral Korak stared at the file. He had once laughed at human soldiers. He didn't laugh now. She killed a warship crew, said a general. She killed the rescue team, added another. She left no trace, whispered the third. They all looked at the screen again. The file was marked restricted level red. Only a few had ever seen it. Korax opened the full report. Confidential report 10 years ago. Named Saren Vega Operation. Black Ice result. 1 human. 37 Seer soldiers eliminated. No sounds recorded. No security breach detected. Final note. Subject moves faster than sensors. Avoid close contact. If found, do not engage alone. Korax closed the file. This is no longer a rescue operation, he said. One officer leaned forward. What do you want to do? Korax replied without emotion. We erase her. Fully, this time, no mistakes. Meanwhile, inside a different Seer base, Far from the high command, music played softly. It was jazz, slow and smooth. Alien soldiers didn't recognize it. To them, it was strange noise. But deep inside the base, hidden under a floor panel, Saren Vega listened. She sat cross-legged, watching wires, reading patterns, and timing guard. Shifts. She wasn't just hiding. She was waiting for the file to be opened, waiting for the trap to activate, and now she pressed a button on her belt. Far away, the high command screen flickered. The Saren Vega file began to corrupt. Lines of Earth code appeared. You watched Earth burn. Now Earth watches you. This is not revenge. It's correction. Sweep in progress. Panic broke out in the Seer war room. Shut it down. Trace the signal. Where is she? But the system didn't respond. Then a soft human voice played across every speaker on the Seer base. You called? Us slow killers. You called us soft. But we never needed speed. Only silence. The power cut. Total darkness. No lights. No sound. Then a scream. Back at the outpost where Saren waited. The doors opened. She walked out slowly, wearing a stolen Seer coat. Her face was calm, her eyes cold. She moved through the base like a ghost. No alarms, no guards, no cameras. She had disabled them all hours ago. The path was clear. She reached the command room. Downloaded data. Planted codes. Left no trace. Only one thing she left behind, scratched into the glass of the command table. This was a message. The next is a memory. Far away, in a human outpost hidden in space, a signal came through. An old man, former Earth General Marcus Turan, opened the message. His hand shook slightly as he read it. Code 7 Black. Silent sweep active. Phase 2 initiated. He turned to the small group behind him, the last humans in hiding. It's time, he said. She's making noise now, back in Seer territory. Admiral Corex stared at the broken screen. His eyes narrowed. She wants us to be afraid. She succeeded, whispered someone. Corex clenched his fists. We will set a trap, the biggest one. A fake human outpost. A perfect target. He paused and said quietly, we use her own trick, patience. But what he didn't know, Serena had already heard the plan. She had already hacked their private lines, and she was already inside. The trap, watching, listening, smiling, because she wasn't coming for rescue, she was coming for all of them. The Seer thought they were clever. Admiral Corex's plan was simple. They would build a fake human outpost, fill it with fake messages, fake heat signals, even fake life signs. Then wait. They believed Saren Vega would come to rescue her people. They believed they could catch her, but Saren was already inside. The trap base was built on Zarian 3. A dead ice moon, no trees. No water, no noise. The Seer created a fake human distress signal. This is Echo Base. Human survivors under attack. Help us. They broadcasted it across space, knowing Saren would hear it. And she did. She even smiled when she did, not because she believed it, but because she recognized the voice. It was hers. A copy. From a mission 10 years ago, they had stolen her voice. Now she would take everything else. 3 days passed. The Seer grew impatient. She's not coming, one commander said. Maybe she's afraid. But Admiral Corex stood still. Watching the sky from the control tower, she's already here, he whispered. They didn't understand what he meant. Not yet. That night, the lights went out. The entire base shut down for exactly 43 seconds. When it came back on, nothing looked different, but something had changed. A soldier walking near the hangar slipped. His boots touched something sticky. He looked down. Oil a dot. Small, careful trail of black oil. He followed it. Nervous, it led into a storage room inside. Empty, except one thing scratched onto the wall. 4 words. Wrong bait. Right place. He ran to the command tower, sir. She's been here. Corex's face went pale. Everyone, check the systems. Check every file, every lock. Now, they opened the control panels. Looked through logs. That's when they saw it. Saren had been inside the system. She had watched their plan from the beginning. She had let them build it. She had even left a message buried deep in the system logs. You built the trap. I built the door. Watch your fuel line. Tick. Tock. Suddenly, alarms blared. Fuel core failure, main engine system override detected, silent sweep virus found, Corex shouted. What? Shut it down. But it was too late. The engines powered up. On their own, doors locked. Drones turned on Seer. Soldiers. Turrets rotated inside the base and fired at command towers. The Seer were trapped in their own trap. The hunters had become the prey. Outside, far up on a snowy cliff, Saren watched through goggles. She stood still, breathing slowly, heart calmed. Her small pack hummed softly, sending one last command to the base below. End simulation. The base exploded, not in fire, but in silence. A clean, soft implosion, the kind only she could design. A week later, news spread across the Seer systems. The secret trap base. Gone, no survivors, no recordings, only one thing left behind, sent across their own networks. A voice, hers. This wasn't rescue, this was rehearsal. You started this war, I'm finishing it, Sweep continues. Back on Earth's secret outpost, General Marcus received the signal. He looked at the younger officers around him. She's done playing small, said. She's going for their core systems now. One asked, can she win alone? Marcus smiled. She's not alone anymore. Back in Seer territory. Admiral Corex stood in front of a new plan. But he wasn't calm anymore. He was sweating, angry, and scared. She's destroying us from the inside. We must find her. Kill her now. But his officers didn't speak. They had all seen her work. And deep inside, they wondered if it was already too late, because Saren wasn't hunting the Seer. Anymore, she was dismantling them. One base at a time. One silent step after another, the Seer believed. Saren Vega was a woman, a soldier, a ghost, a killer. But they were wrong. She was something more, and the truth was written deep inside her blood. 10 years ago, when Earth was burning, the last scientists didn't run. They didn't cry. They built one final gift, a weapon so quiet it couldn't be heard, so smart it couldn't be tracked, so human. It couldn't be stopped. They called it Echo. Strain, it was not a machine. It was not a virus. It was a choice, written into DNA. Saren was the first to receive it, not forced. She volunteered. If I die, she said, make me the last sound they hear. The injection was small, but after it, everything changed. Her heart slowed. Her vision sharpened. Her body moved faster than sound. She no longer needed sleep, or heat, or light. Pain became quiet. Fear became cold. And her blood stopped showing red dot instead. It ran like silver dot. Echo Strain had bonded with her. She was no longer just Saren Vega. She was something Earth left behind to haunt the stars. Now, Serin stood inside. A Seer science lab, the biggest in the quadrant. She had entered it hours ago. Quiet. Calm. No one noticed her. The guards were asleep now. Some forever. She moved through labs, collecting samples, stealing data, planting small devices no bigger than a pin. Each device had one job: erase everything, not just files, but memory itself. The Seer would forget what they created, but she would remember. She reached the main server, a machine as tall as a building, glowing blue. Inside, she found the unthinkable. The Seer had been studying human DNA. They had tried to copy Echo Strain. It didn't work. All Seer test subjects died screaming because Echo wasn't built for them. It was made for pain. Pain that only a human heart could survive. They didn't understand it because they never understood why humans fought so hard. Saren left a message inside their database. One sentence: you cannot copy what you fear. Then she destroyed the server. Far away, Admiral Corex screamed in rage. His science station was gone. His top minds lost. His final chance to control. Saren gone in a silent flash. We created this, he said. We made her powerful. We made her legend. A junior officer spoke up. Sir, what if she's not just legend? Corex turned sharply. You think she's a god? No? Worse, the officer whispered. She's the price. Meanwhile, Serin knelt in a cave near a red dwarf star. She patched her wounds in silence. Echo strain healed her fast, but not without pain. Her hands shook briefly, then stopped. She had been shot 3 times, burned once, cut deep in the side. She didn't care. Each scar reminded her why she was still here. Not for revenge, not for glory, for... Seer did so. No other world would be next. She looked at a small photo, the only one she still carried. A picture of her sister, age 7, smiling on Earth, before the fires. Saren whispered, still with me. Then she stood. She looked at the stars. The Seer capital planet was next. No more messages, no more warnings. This time, she wouldn't be silent. Back on Earth's hidden outpost. General Marcus Terran received Saren's signal. It was short. Go. Ready. 1 step left. He turned to his team. She's going to the heart. A young officer asked, should we help? Marcus shook his head. She doesn't need help. She is the help. In the deepest chamber of Seer High Command, an old secret file was opened. It had no name. Only one title, Echo Host. Status, Unstoppable Corex. Read it again. His face turned pale. She's not human, he said. She's memory, and memory never dies. The Seer homeworld Zell Primus had never known fear. It was the center of the Dominion. Tall towers scraped the clouds. Blue skies glowed with drones and warships. Seer leaders walked proudly, believing they ruled the galaxy forever. They were wrong. Saren Vega had arrived. She didn't enter through the sky. She came from beneath, through tunnels. The Seer had forgotten, built long ago when their cities were young. She moved without light, without sound, her body blended with the stone. Her breath slow, her heart calm, by the time they noticed the first signal glitch. She was already deep inside their capital tower. In the security room, alarms started blinking. One officer frowned. A sensor just cut out. Naked. Sector 9. Just one, another asked. Then 5 more went black. No visuals, no thermal, no sound. And then, silence. The screen turned off. Just like that, Admiral Corex ran into the command hall. What happened? She's here, an officer said quietly. Saren Vega, she's inside. How many troops do we have in the capital?
Over.
1 million. Corex clenched his fists. Then she dies today. But deep down, he already knew. Underground, stood in the center of a power core. Her hands moved fast. She attached small devices to every pipe and panel. Each one carried a whisper bomb, silent. It's cold, invisible until it struck. She checked her map, 30-7 targets in the city. All marked, all ready. She clicked a small switch. Sweep phase. 3. Clean cut. Then she climbed to the surface. The sky was red now. The city lights flickered. Sirens began to wail, but no one knew where to look. Because Saren was everywhere and nowhere. A drone spotted a shadow on a rooftop. It zoomed in. One figure. Standing still. Black coat. Silver eyes. Wind in her hair. The drone locked on, then went dead. Just static, then flames. Corex ordered all forces activated. Shut the city down. Lock every door. She must not reach the command tower. No. But it wasn't her target. not yet. She went for the memory banks, the seer's greatest treasure, a building filled with files, cord secrets, history, everything the Dominion had ever done. She entered it in complete silence. Not one guard saw her when they did. It was too late. She left one message on the central screen. If you erase us, we erase you. Then she set it all to burn. Across the city, power failed, drones crashed, shields broke, communications died. The seer watched in horror as their world, their mighty home, fell apart. One voice echoed across their emergency channels. You? Thought humans were slow? But slow is patient, silent is smart. And now, your silence is forever. In orbit above the planet, a seer battle fleet waited 30 ships. Full firepower. Admiral Corex stood on the bridge. She tried to escape, he said. We catch her at the edge. Then the ships shut down. Every one, engines off, weapons offline. A virus had entered. Not from outside, from inside. Saren had planted it weeks ago, before the trap, before the lab, before everything. Corax fell to his knees. She planned this. All of it, from the prison to the signal. To this moment, she didn't attack the seer. She unbuilt them. On the surface, Saren stood at the edge of a tower, looking down at the fire below. The city glowed red, buildings falling, lights blinking. Out she spoke softly into a radio, echo complete, primary target neutralized, awaiting final order. The voice of General Marcus Tyran came through. Rough, tired, proud. You did it, Saren. The galaxy knows now. The seer are finished. She looked up at the stars. I'm not done yet. The seer dominion was gone, not with fire, not with war, but with silence. Their homeworld burned low. Ships floated dead in orbit. The stars around them were quiet. No orders. No rescue, no voice. Only the one who had done it, the woman they once called weak. Saren Vega walked through the ruins of their capital. The streets were empty. The tall towers were broken. The skies were full of ashdot. She didn't smile. She didn't speak. She had done what she came to do. The mission was complete. She reached the old broadcast tower, the same one the seer used to send threats to Earth long ago. Now, she would use it one last time. She climbed alone to the top. The wind was cold, the silence deep. She placed a small recorder on the desk and pressed record. Her voice was calm, her words were soft, but the message was strong. This is Saren Vega, human, ghost, last of the silent sweep. The seer believed they could erase us, that their noise was stronger than our silence. But humans do not disappear. We remember, we wait, and then we act, not with hate, not with rage, but with focus, with patience, with truth. If you're hearing this, remember what happened here. Remember who we are. She paused, then added, this is not the end. This is a reminder. She clicked send. The message flew into space across every channel, on every frequency. Across the galaxy, people listened. On mining planets, on merchant ships, in alien cities that once feared the seer, they listened to a human voice. Clear, calm, unshaken. They learned the truth. That Earth had not died. It had whispered, and the whisper had become a storm. Far away, General Marcus Tyran received the final signal. He stood with the last human command group. She did it, he said. A young girl in the room, no older than Saren's sister once was, asked, is she coming back? Marcus looked at the stars. She already has, he replied. Back on the seer world, Serin, stood alone at the edge of a cliff. Behind her, silence ahead of her. Stars, she opened the old photo of her sister, worn, faded, but still there. Then, she folded it and placed it gently into the wind. It flew out like a memory, like a soul set free. She looked down at her hands. They were shaking echo. Strain had done its job, but now it was breaking her too. She didn't mind, it was never meant. To save her, only the mission. Only the message. She pressed one last button on her belt. Get a protocol. shut down. The strain would fade, and so would she. Saren walked into the forest beyond the city. The seer would never find her. No, one would. And that was how she wanted it. The sweep didn't end with noise. It ended the way. It started with silence. Months later, a traveler landed on Xal-Primus. He found no armies, no flags, only ashes. But on one wall, deep in the ruins, he saw words burned into the stone. You called us slow killers. We proved you wrong. In one silent sweep,